AI has actually started taking jobs. This isn't in 10 years and not just one day. It's already happening. In this video, I want to walk you through one story in particular where a single AI bot did the work of 700 people, plus 2 other big companies that are openly planning job cuts because of AI. And then I'll tell you how to make sure you're not next in line to lose your job. So let's get into it. You've probably seen Klarna before on checkout pages. Buy now, pay later for clothes, tech and furniture. In early 2024, Klarna quietly rolled out an AI customer service assistant built on top of OpenAI. Here's what happened in just the first month. It handled about 2.3 million customer conversations, which was roughly 2/3 of all their customer service chats, and the company said it was doing the equivalent work of 700 full-time agents. 700 people's worth of work, done by a single AI assistant that doesn't sleep, doesn't need breaks, and works in multiple languages, 24/7. Now, Klarna were very careful with the wording. They didn't stand up and say, "Hey, we just fired 700 people." Some roles had already been cut in earlier rounds of layoffs. Some were with external call center providers, and some positions just won't be hired in the future. But from a worker's point of view, the effect is the same. Those customer chats used to be handled by humans. Now they're mostly handled by software. And Klarna expects to save tens of millions of pounds a year because of that. If you work in a call center, a help desk, or any kind of first-line customer support, this is what AI taking jobs actually looks like in real life. Your company doesn't have to literally walk out 700 people tomorrow. They just need to implement a system like this, and then stop backfilling roles when people leave, and stop opening new positions they would have opened before. Over a couple of years, your whole department can shrink massively without a single dramatic headline about 700 people fired overnight. But here's the part people missed after that headline went viral. Klarna has already had to walk some of it back. After claiming the bot was doing 700 agents worth of work, they've since admitted the AI-only push went too far. Customers complained about quality and lack of a human option, so Klarna is hiring people again. Not to replace the bot, but to handle escalations behind it. So the jobs don't fully vanish, they shrink, and they change. And that's actually the bigger takeaway. The first layer of work gets automated, the complicated layer becomes human. So even when jobs come back, they come back smaller, more specialised, and with AI sitting in front of them. Klarna's one story. Let's zoom out to 2 much bigger employers. First, BT, the telecoms giant in the UK. BT has said it plans to cut up to 55,000 jobs by 2030, more than 40% of its workforce. Their CEO has been pretty open that around 10,000 of those will likely be replaced by AI, especially in customer service and network management roles. So if your job is answering calls, handling routine queries, or monitoring systems for issues, there is literally a written plan saying, over the next few years, we expect a big chunk of this work to be done by AI instead of humans. In more recent interviews, they've even hinted the cuts might go further as AI gets better. Second, IBM. IBM's CEO has said they're pausing hiring for certain back-office jobs because they expect AI to replace about 7,800 roles over the next few years. We're talking about the kind of work people think of as safe office jobs. Admin, HR, and internal support roles that don't face customers. The tasks are mostly screen-based, rules-based, and repetitive. Reading documents, updating systems, sending standard emails. Exactly the kind of thing large language models and automation tools are starting to be very good at. Again, notice the pattern. It's not always you're fired today because of AI. It's often, we're just not going to hire the next wave of people because software can do more of this now. Now let's take all of this and put it in context. Goldman Sachs did a big piece of research on this. Their economists estimated that advances in generative AI could expose the equivalent of about 300 million full-time jobs to automation worldwide. Expose doesn't mean 300 million people instantly unemployed. It means that a large chunk of the tasks in those jobs could be done by AI, at least in theory. They break it down roughly like this. A lot of roles will be augmented. You still have a human in the job, but AI makes them faster and more productive. Another set of roles is at risk, where the bulk of the day-to-day work is text, calls, or standardized digital tasks that AI can handle very well. And guess which types of jobs they flag as most exposed? Administrative support, some customer-facing roles, and parts of legal. finance, and other professional services that involve a lot of document work, which lines up pretty neatly with the examples we've just gone through: Klarna, customer support; BT, customer service and network operations; and then IBM, admin and HR. So you've got individual companies already cutting or reshaping jobs, and a major investment bank saying, this isn't a one-off. A huge chunk of white-collar work is structurally exposed to this technology. So what do you actually do with this? A few practical points. 1. If your job is mostly following scripts, answering the same questions, copying information between systems, or writing standard emails and reports, then you are in the highest risk category. That doesn't mean you're doomed, but it does mean you should be asking, which parts of my job are easy for AI and which parts aren't? 2. The safest place to be is not against AI, it's above AI. You want to be the person who uses AI to work faster, handles the messy human situations that AI can't, and understands the business well enough to make decisions, not just follow instructions. Companies still need people who can talk to clients, negotiate, design systems, and take responsibility when things go wrong. AI is not taking that off their plate anytime soon. 3. Pay attention to hiring, not headlines. A really important sign is, are entry-level jobs disappearing? Are companies in your space doing hiring freezes or saying, we'll grow output without growing headcount? That's where you see AI's impact first, not just in who gets fired, but in who never gets hired in the first place. So when people say, AI isn't taking jobs, it just helps people work faster, you can point at Klarna, BT, IBM, and a 300 million job study and say, no, it's already replacing real roles in specific areas. The only real question is whether you're in that target zone or whether you're using it to your advantage. In a future video, I'm going to cover which jobs look relatively safe for the next decade and how to reposition yourself if you're currently in a high-risk role. If you found this video useful, hit like and subscribe. And whether you like it or not, AI has actually started taking jobs. The next step is making sure it doesn't take yours.